My name's Lee Cole and I'm the Managing Director of Paint 360. We make brand new paint from waste paint. Waste paint is an international problem. The UK alone last year disposed of around 50 million litres of paint. Generally, there are only three options for dealing with waste paint. You can send it to landfill, which is frowned upon, you can incinerate it, or you can recycle it. Either way, the cost for that is roughly the same. We're the only real option for construction companies to improve their closed-loop recycling through waste paint. And because of that, we've started to appear on some of their tenders. Each litre of can that we sell has a minimum 80% recycled content. We can help construction companies save on the cost to buy paint. We can help them reduce their carbon output. We can help them hit social enterprise targets, and we can also increase their recycling figures. We have niche products for the social housing market, for the prison service and for new builds. And all of our products are priced to compete with premium brands. A lot of the professional decorators in the trade, the seasoned professionals, are starting to prefer our paint now, and we've got a lot of testimonials to back that up. We have doubled in turnover since we launched year on year, and we're growing at circa 70% so far this year. And we've been shortlisted to the National Recycling Awards Best Recycled Product category this year. Our products and procedures have been independently validated by the Carbon Footprint Company and by Bath University, and they confirm that 1 litre of our paint saves so much embedded carbon to make new paint that you can run a transit van 5 miles carbon free. We've developed the first UK dedicated waste paint transfer station. Paint is delivered to us by hazardous waste companies, but it's generated through your garden sheds and through your garages. We use very old techniques to make paint, paired with modern machinery. It's very labour intensive, and so far we've helped in excess of 30 people back into full-time work. 14 of those people we employ directly, and that number is growing, which seems to be almost monthly. New tenders within the construction industry are pushing for closed-loop recycling, zero to landfill, and social enterprise. When you pair that to new legislation within the government saying that you cannot send waste paint or fluids to landfill, and now paint pots have joined the same category, really the choice is simple. You can either send the waste paint for incineration, or you can send it to Paint 360. Thank you.
Lee, thank you very, very much. Wow, that is pretty straightforward. I loved your opening line. I'm going to start with your financial thinking, because this I've got maybe a question later about intellectual property, right, and how you protect yourself. But tell me about your revenue today, and then how you see it maybe in 3 years and 5 years.
First year we turned over 108,000 and we lost around 30. But we had a lot of stock, so there's some ambiguity in those figures.
Yeah.
Second year, we turned over 294,000, gross profit of 131, net profit of 28.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for the figures for this year, but we expect it to be around the 470.
Congratulations.
Gross profit of 40%, and we're aiming for net profits of 25, around the 25 mark.
Good for you. Good growth. Thank you.
Does that include your salary?
Correct, yes. Yeah.
Great. And yeah, I'd like to pick up on the IP thing. Just, is there anyone else doing what you're doing, and do you feel protected? Have you protected the process? Or
there's a lot of people recycling paint. But where we're unique is being able to join up the fact that we work with construction companies. So we supply all of the major construction companies. We work with all of the big hazardous waste companies, and we work with all the big distributors, building trades companies. So really, to join all of those dots together, that's where our uniqueness is. When you pair that with the products that we've made for the specific industries, we've been very careful about who we go against in terms of developing the business. So a lot of the products that we develop are very niche and are bespoke to us. So to be able to find somebody to copy all of those elements at the same time becomes very difficult.
And have you partnered up with any like big development firm that have a lot of waste paint?
We work with a lot of big construction companies. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say, but we're working with those guys about taking their waste paint in at the moment through the UK's biggest distribution centre. So.
And is it solely kind of a commercial operation in B2B large construction companies, or are you also kind of exploring the retail angle as well?
The difference is with retail and to deal with construction is if I take my wife shopping for paint, she doesn't use our paint, but if I take my wife shopping, it's all about the colour. Yep. It's not about the service, the quality, and all of the social enterprise and the value-added stuff that we deliver. Yep. It makes much more sense to be working with construction companies than obviously to deal with retail.
So I'm clear, do you actually sell back the new paint to the construction companies that you...
Correct.
You've got your own...
Yeah.
What's the cost difference between new paint, old method, and new paint from waste paint?
Because we charge for receiving the waste paint, it means that we can be very competitive when we sell our waste paint, when we sell the new paint, sorry. So really there's not a lot in it compared to virgin paint and brand paint.
Do you know what the size of the market is? If we just take the UK, how much construction companies spending on paint?
Oh, crikey. Well, I think there's 50 million litres of waste paint thrown away every year, which is roughly 5 to 10% of the total marketplace for paint bought in the UK. So yeah.
Who else is in your company? What's your team?
I have a business partner who's the technical director, and he's responsible for designing all of our products. He's been a formulation chemist now over 30 years. We have an office manager who we poached from the local DWP because a lot of the people we employ are from young, long-term unemployed, so we wanted somebody that could help them into work, so we poached her. And then the managers that we have within the business have all come through those people. So we recruit, we train and we motivate and we bring people through the system.
Are you the sole shareholder then?
No, we have 4 shareholders at the moment, but I'm the major shareholder.
What would be the first thing you would do should you win the prize? What would be the one thing you'd put the money on?
Oh, crikey. The money would be 2 things, really. To develop another waste paint transfer station.
Yeah.
And secondly, I would like to make the paint that we produce at the moment in much bigger batches. So, but everything that we do from scratch. So we can't go out and buy that machinery to do what we do because we do everything in a completely different way. So there's a whole raft of trial, fail and adjust to get to that.
Super answer.
Thank you.
Lee, super job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Hi, my name's Derek Vall from Benefits Direct. My company offers professional services to professional bodies like trade associations, charities, etc. In fact, anyone that's got a membership club, a membership base. Effectively, my experience is 10 years in the trade association industry, where I had a very successful trade organisation, and effectively found that my competition sort of struggled to retain their membership. So I was obviously doing something right. I've now come out of that industry and formed my new company. We've been trading for 18 months, and effectively I'm now working with effectively my old competition. So I went to them and said, look, how about me supplying your members with services? I'll give you a menu you can choose, and basically I pay you a commission. Simple as that. Okay. I actually also done the negotiations with the customers, with the suppliers, and I actually built a website myself as well. So I've done the whole business. And effectively, what we do is we provide a solution to trade organisations, which is a one-stop shop. So effectively, I have 40 different services. They can pick and choose. And we actually fine-tune them depending on what type of association they are. So if they're a retail organisation or construction, etc. Typical benefits are things like insurance, guaranteed to meet current quotes, merchant service rates, best in the UK, and legal, health and safety, and HR helpline. We also offer a full package of administration, fulfilment, and a call centre facility, so we can do the whole package or just one item. My expansion will be through local agents with local knowledge using our national buying power. We're also now making way with business clubs, so anyone that's got large databases that are looking to actually offer additional services to their customers and engage them. So, my idea there was, if you're an insurance broker, why not have the insurance brokers business club to engage more customers? So it's just not an insurance email; it's more interesting. We've currently got 100,000 SMEs, which is basically 4 accounts that I currently run. I had a meeting a couple of days ago. I'm looking to put another 45,000 on within the next 2 weeks. I'm looking to engage with anyone with large databases. My business model is effectively automation and partnerships. Q4 this year, we'll be engaging with a partner doing a daily business daily deal, similar to the Groupon, but for the business community purely. I need Virgin's help really to enable me to scale up the business so I can concentrate on development. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Derek. Wow, some difficult questions in terms of sort of market sizing, because I guess you're selling to all local businesses and all SMEs in some ways.
Yep.
But actually you're onward selling other people's professional services. You're brokering effectively.
Correct. Yep.
So how big is the brokering market that you're in?
3,500 trade associations, 16,500 charities, and any business that's got a large database.
Could you put a market value on that in any way?
No.
You couldn't.
No is the answer. I mean, I've got one company that's a competition, and they've got 3 times the membership I have currently, but they've also got 50 times the staff I've got. So.
Okay.
Derek, aren't you up against the FSB?
FSB would be a typical customer, so I would go to the FSB and not compete with them, but say, look, I've got a new benefit. Are you interested to offer this to your members? I'll run it and pay you a commission.
Okay.
So a typical example of that would be auto enrolment.
Yeah.
I mean, currently SMEs at the moment, they just don't consider auto enrolment necessary. And obviously the staging date will be next April, so they've got to do it. So through people like myself, we can engage their members.
Because I thought that the FSB would be approaching trade associations and offering exactly these services already.
Well, the FSB is a trade association in its own right.
Yeah.
So effectively, what I would do is I could supply.
That's not a competition.
No, I could supply FSB with two benefits. I could supply one of their competitions with 3 benefits.
Okay.
And it's all relevant to the different type of trade.
Can you talk to me a little bit about your model specifically? So are you selling in on a kind of per member basis? Are you looking at kind of commission on any kind of completed transactions to go through insurers and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so effectively it's per association.
Yep.
So effectively the association will engage all their members and say, for instance, they want van insurance or vehicles. And then effectively any completed sale, they would get a revenue on that.
They would?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the actual trade association that takes the commission.
Yes, we would share revenue effectively, and that would very much depend on the size of the organisation and how much work they wanted us to do.
And how much what's your turnover been to date?
For the last 18 months, about 30,000.
And future? And projections for the next?
Projections would be 10 times that if I could concentrate fully on the project. I've had a trade organisation previously which I self-funded, and I turned that into a multi-million-pound turnover within about 6 years.
And what did you do? Sell it on, or?
Yeah.
So how do you create your own competitive advantage? I mean, are there other people that could replicate this? There's clearly some other big trade associations that are acting as brokers.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you protect the future of your business? Or
I'm very well known in the association business, so I can sort of just pick the phone up and talk to people. And I've also got a lot of deals I've had for 25, 30 years.
Okay.
So again, I would say quite openly to someone, you can go and approach X and get Y, but I can pay you more going through me.
Okay.
Is there a lot of people in the team run it?
No. Me currently.
Just you. You are the team.
Yeah, I am the team, and I deal with strategic partners. So, and my partners effectively help each other. So, an assurance company, when they're pitching people, they would actually ask maybe about auto enrolment dates and vice versa. So everyone helps each other. So we build a community.
Are you geographically focused? I know you said you're online. So is it UK wide?
UK wide.
Or do you have a hot spot of where you're particularly trading, or does it come from anywhere in the UK?
No, anywhere in the UK at all, because the membership of the relevant organisation will be nationwide.
Right.
Okay, and how scalable is this? I mean, in terms of actually delivery of kind of the offers and the deals, do you have a platform that kind of all the redemptions done through?
Currently we do it pretty much manually, but that is one of the reasons I'm looking for investment, is to actually make it completely automated.
Yeah. Okay.
And is it a replica of what you did before, or very similar to it?
Practically, yeah, but it's just more user-friendly for everybody else to use. So where I used to have competition, I've now got no competition.
Okay.
Yep.
Derek, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you. Thanks for your time. Thanks. Yeah. Thank you.
Right, yeah.
Thanks.
Hi, my name's Liam Richards, founder of Excel Academy. How would you feel if your son or daughter came home from school with a black eye and was crying and never wanted to go back to school? How would you feel? Would you feel helpless? 43% of children today get bullied. 160,000 children miss school every single day because of the fear of being bullied. 30% have had suicidal thoughts. Put your hand up if you think this is a problem that needs to be dealt with right now.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. The young people of today need and deserve our support. Together, we can make a difference. We give children and adults the strength, courage, and confidence to live a happy and healthy life. I started martial arts when I was 7 years old, inspired by the Power Rangers. I achieved my black belt when I was 11 years old and competed around the world, achieving British, European, and world titles. In 2008, me and my friend reached the final of Britain's Got Talent, The Strike. In 2013, I achieved International Martial Artist of the Year in Texas, America. This year, I won the award for British Martial Arts School Owner of the Year. This is what I live to do. It's my absolute passion in life. It is everything to me. Me and my sister were both bullied at school, and nobody should have to experience what me and my family had to go through. I've got a very passionate team of coaches at Excel that want to make lives better. What makes us unique? Our powerful personal development program with parent interaction and involvement. Our creative coaching makes learning fun and exciting. We bring the community together and make them feel part of the family. Our vision is to change the world and change millions of people's lives, giving them the life skills that do not exist in formal education systems today, and giving the families that support that they need. Nelson Mandela said, "Children are our greatest treasure. They are our future." We will do this by franchising and licensing Excel across the country, in gyms and in schools, with passionate individuals. We can also do an online coaching program too. So Richard Branson said he's looking for someone who makes lives better. We have adopted a massive problem, and we are making a difference one child at a time. Together, we can change the world. We are ready for the boom. Thank you.
Liam. Thank you. Thank you. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Just help me understand what your... Because I think I get the concept and anti-bullying and fitness classes. So what does your current operation entail?
Yes.
And then how do you see that scaling?
Sure, yeah. Well, we've got 350 martial arts members now, from 3 up to 78 years old. So 70% of those are children, and we've got 250 dance members, which is my sister's business alongside it. So Excel Academy is the full brand. It's all done on a monthly subscription, so they pay monthly, they invest in their training, invest in their children, and the main part of it is the personal development side of what we do. So
do they come to a particular location currently?
Yeah, most students train twice a week at our full-time premises. So we've got our own premises, which we're just about to move into a 6,000 square foot building, so we can impact more people's lives.
Based where?
In Sheffield.
Sheffield, gotcha, okay.
So Liam, I can see how people are going to be fully engaged when you can like flip over backwards and do all that stuff, and that's great. But what about the poor rest of your team? You know, how are you going to recruit people that are as good as you to engage as well as you so that you can scale your business up?
Sure, well that's something that I've really learned in growing the business. Is when we first started out, I was looking for super skilled martial artists.
Yeah.
And I realised that they didn't always have the personality or the passion to change people's lives.
Yeah.
So I now look for people that are really passionate. 2 of the coaches are parents of 2 children. They've both got children each that train with us at Excel. And they both used to do martial arts when they were younger. Okay. So they've revisited their passion, they're super, super passionate about it, and then they've now become very skilled martial artists too. Yeah. Super friendly. Yeah, that's what makes everybody feel part of the family.
No, definitely.
So you've just got one premises at the moment?
We've got 2 buildings close to each other, so we've got 2 areas, and we're going to bring that into one super school.
Yeah. You talked about scaling, you talked about scaling it through kind of franchises and that kind of thing. Can you talk to me a little bit about kind of how that model would work kind of financially? Sure,
yeah. Well, I'm going to look for, not martial artists, I'm going to look for passionate entrepreneurs that want to make a difference to people's lives. And this will be a great opportunity for them to do that in a really exciting way. So then we'll hire the instructors, the coaches that do martial arts. We're going to structure that in the same way that we do with our pricing currently, and then look at that, scaling that. The quickest platform would be to do that in gyms. Yeah. The Virgin Active, I feel, would be a fantastic synergy, which I'd love to speak to Sir Richard Branson about himself.
Okay. Have you managed to leverage any of the sort of attention from Britain's Got Talent and things like that to sort of convert people and get people to come to the school?
Yeah, sure, yeah. At first, we really used that to our advantage. We inspired, I'm sure, thousands of people across the UK. So many of those were in Sheffield. So that was the frustration, that so many wanted this, but we were just in Sheffield. So that's where we want to scale it. And now it's not reliant on me teaching classes. It's not about me. It's about the students, and the coaches now deliver the exciting and fun program that changes lives without me there.
And do you have targets for your revenue for the next sort of 3 years, 5 years?
Absolutely, yeah. Our current revenue for last year was 332,000. Next year, well, this year will be 420. And then as we grow, the student value is about £1,000 per student value per annum. Yep. So we're looking at like 550 the year after. As we grow to 1,000 students, then we'll reach £1 million turnover.
And this all by subscription?
Yes.
332 by subscription?
Yeah, we find about 70% of our students pay monthly, and 30% like to pay in full for 6 months or 12 months.
And the attendance rate is pretty good, is it?
Yeah. Last week we had 87% attendance, active students out of those members trained that week. So 90% in the industry is amazing, really.
Yeah.
In terms of the martial arts component, is it a general martial arts training, or the specialities? If I wanted to do judo or karate, can I go on to become very good at that in your club, or am I getting a general skilling?
Sure, yeah. It's a universal program that's mainly kickboxing, striking. We found that students like to have a great workout. They want to move the body and have lots of fun with it, and we feel that's the best way to do it with the kickboxing. We do other styles of martial arts too. It takes an average about 3.5 years to 5 years to achieve black belt. We have an amazing attrition rate as well, only sort of 2%. We lose about 2% of our students each month, so the attrition rate's amazing too.
Super.
Our students are all engaged.
Well,
Fantastic.
Well, fantastic, and thank you for the opening.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
That was one of the most
Peter's
impactful.
doing that in the next break.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I'll teach you, no problem.
Yeah, with an ambulance outside of them. No, thank you very much.
Thank you so
Good
much.
job.
Thank you.
Well
I really
done.
appreciate it, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, Liam.
Cheers.
While pet sitting, recovering from a near-death experience, I realised the need for a solution to a common global problem. A third of people struggle to travel as much as they'd like to due to pet care issues. That's 40 million US households and 5 million in the UK. So we launched Trusted House Sitters, which helps people find someone to care for their home and pets for free in exchange for a place to stay. Vets say pets are happier at home, kennels are unpopular, and pet care can be expensive, and many pets can't be kennelled. Trusted House Sitters is also perfect for expats with homes and pets in locations we'd love to travel to. We're enabling retirement adventure, companionship for solo travellers, and affordable family breaks. We're revolutionising the way people travel, enjoying authentic experiences beyond the usual budget. Where else can you stay for free in a castle with 600 acres where they film Game of Thrones looking after a cat? We've helped grow a strong community of pet lovers, enabling over 1 million nights of pet sitting with members in over 140 countries, saving them over 200 million in accommodation and pet care costs. Our values are about being real, caring, connecting, and we're told that we're genuinely enriching lives. Our reputation fuels demand. We're Trustpilot ranked in the top travel and pet companies globally. Comments include, "You've invaluably added years to our retirement. I didn't think I could have pets and travel. And thank you, you're helping us live the dream." Previously, I managed marketing at Red Bull and built and sold a publishing company. My partner helped launch eBay and Tesco online. We've pet sat worldwide to glean insights and are proud to be growing a world-class team of nearly 30 people. Our expertise drives growth and recognition, recently winning a National Customer Service Award. We're the global market leader in house and pet sitting, providing the best value proposition, partnering with the RSPCA and veterinary associations worldwide. We have 130,000 Facebook followers, and our members have travelled over 55 million miles to pet sit. Trusted House Sitters was voted Website of the Year last year and was nominated for a Webby. The timing is now. Last week, I was interviewed by the Wall Street Journal and on the trading floor at the New York Stock Exchange, live on TV. Experts tell us we're the future of the sharing economy as a pure play win-win. The addressable market is worth billions, and we're giving pet lovers the freedom to travel, meeting the sweet spot between lifestyle, pets, travel, and retirement. We're poised to scale fast. We're in partner talks with major travel companies globally, as we're told that we have the solution. Trusted House Sitters is achieving hockey stick growth despite being self-funded, with a run rate of over £2 million annually, and we're almost doubling in growth each year. We're told we're providing an invaluable service, and we're genuinely enriching lives, and we love it.
Andy, thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Pet care meets Airbnb. It's fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So let's talk about some numbers.
Sure.
You say 2 million run rate annually. I'm assuming that's revenue.
Correct.
So how many customers have you got that have used your pet care service?
Something in the region of about 50,000.
50,000. And no doubt growing on the assumption that you're doubling every year.
Yeah.
And is there I'm guessing a repeat business there that once I've used you and it worked?
Yeah, it's a subscription-based model, so both parties pay about £80 to join, and then no money changes hands, which is the beauty of the way it works, yeah.
So both the traveller and the pet owners pay a subscription?
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's £80 per year.
Yes, it's nothing. Well, it's not nothing, it's £80, but it's great value. You can't really find a hotel to stay in for a night or kennels for a weekend, and yet we've got people living the dream, travelling around the world, enjoying peace of mind and pet care, which is invaluable.
How do you vet? How do you vet the people that are coming to your house to look after your dogs? Because that would be my worry.
Absolutely.
Because somebody, somebody strange maybe coming and taking care of the dogs.
Yeah. Well, when members join, so they can request third-party references, maybe from an employer or from past employment. They can also upload criminal background checks. They might produce video profiles and a whole lot of information about themselves. And if you've got pets, then you want to ask the questions that match your exact needs, so it works perfectly for that.
And are they reviewed if they've looked after somebody's pets?
Yes, exactly.
Before?
So you can see people's history of looking after all kinds of pets, and there's many people on the site that have travelled all over the world and have got a whole history of pet sitting.
Okay.
When you say £80 per year now, I have 6 dogs. Does that mean that I have to pay £80 per dog?
No, £80 to join the site.
Yeah.
And then for that, you could have 2 dogs, a cat and a goat. I don't know why I said a goat, but you could have somebody look after all of your pets for free, 365 days a year. You've also got a 24/7 veterinary advice line. And if you like, while someone's looking after your place, you can go off and pet sit around the world and stay in amazing houses, again, all through the year. And people are doing this and enjoying a great way of travelling. And it's fantastic because people are able to stay in places that are beyond their usual budget.
And this is your only source of income for the company, the subscription?
Currently, yes, but there's a lot of opportunities.
Can you just talk to me a little about, so you said 2 million revenue run rate currently for this year. What does that drop through in terms of kind of gross profit, net profit?
Okay. So I suppose the average cost per acquisition is about £60.
Yep.
The average revenue per customer is about £60, and the cost per acquisition is about just under a third of that.
Okay.
And how long have you been going?
5 years. We launched in 2010. 6 years.
And what has the growth been like in terms of profitability?
It's been steady, and we're a self-funded business, but we've grown and we've reinvested everything back into the business. Yeah.
Who else is in this market? You say you're the global leader.
Sure.
And therefore you've got kennels who are competitors, and then you've got Airbnb that do a kind of house sharing, money transferring type thing.
Care.com.
Is there a care.com? I'm trying to wonder who are your competitors in the place that are preventing you from being 10 times the size?
Okay, so there's 1 or 2 people that have a similar model, but they're quite small. In comparison, we've leapfrogged them. And then there's dog boarding sites which have adopted an Airbnb style model. But let's suppose you have a dog and you take it to number 47 and you're getting your dog looked after by somebody that's doing it for pay-oriented reasons rather than somebody that maybe has had a dog, lost a dog and loves caring for pets. So it's a better value proposition for the dog owner. You're getting your home looked after, your garden looked after. So, yeah, there's dog boarding sites, but they don't have the geographical spread that we have.
Yeah.
And what's happening as a result of this, because people are saying this is a better solution, is that now we're partnering with a lot of companies internationally.
You mentioned, so you're in 140 countries. Where are your kind of key markets currently where you're getting traction?
The UK. Our fastest growing market is the US, which is probably growing at about 130% a year. Australasia is a big market for us, and also Canada. And then we get a lot of people using the site from a lot of expat locations. So places like Latin America, Southeast Asia, mainland Europe, Caribbean, the places we all want to go and travel. So it works quite nicely on both sides.
Great.
Andy, it's very, very cool idea. Well done.
Thank you very much indeed.
Presenting it. Good for you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Andy.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi everyone, my name's Darren Sassini and I'm the co-founder and CEO of a company called Sassy Bloom, as seen on Dragon's Den. We're revolutionising the way that parents shop for their little ones, as well as helping them to save time and money. Sassy Bloom was founded after my wife was diagnosed with a rare and progressive heart and lung condition and given a 50% chance of survival. I'm a parent myself, and like all parents, I want the very best for my child. Now, traditionally, as a parent, you'd walk into a bricks and mortar store only to be faced with tens of thousands of products, not knowing if they're any good or not, unless you purchase them. Now, as times are evolving, parents are becoming a little bit more savvy. They're starting to do their own research online. But that involves comparing reviews, looking at prices, and again, the problem still exists. How do you find the best products for your baby if you don't know what you're looking for to begin with? The solution is Sassy Bloom. We send out these amazing boxes to families on a monthly basis from third trimester of pregnancy up to the age of 3. It's a fun, convenient, unique and exciting way for them to shop for their little ones. We've also recently launched Sassy Kids Box, a fun-filled craft box for 3 to 8-year-olds that comes fortnightly through your door delivered to each child, and again is all about spending good quality family time together. Sassy Bloom has never started as a lifestyle business. Everything that we've done has been geared to getting the foundations in place to scale and grow the business. We've got a fantastic team. We've got 5 members on board who are experts in the baby and toy arena. We've also got a panel of mums and babies who approve every single item in our Sassy Bloom boxes. We've just optimised our warehouse, ready to ramp up in the UK and to scale into Europe. And we're also in talks with some very high prolific and experienced individuals who are highly impressed with everything that we've achieved to date with Sassy Bloom and want to be part of our journey. We're the UK's #1 discovery platform from third trimester all the way up to 8 years of age. And we're the only baby subscription service in the world to include personalised products in our boxes too. So what does the market look like? It's worth 1.4 billion per year and has achieved a steady 5.4% year-on-year growth. In addition to that, there's the baby shower market, which is valued at 220 million, the maternity market at 147 million, and the giftware market is valued at 5 billion, which also includes personalised products. There are 68,000 new parents entering our market every single month, and there are an estimated 50 million mums and mums-to-be within Europe, so the potential is huge. We're actually ahead of our forecasting at the moment for the forthcoming year to bring in revenues of 1.9 million. So why Sassy Bloom? We've won 17 awards. We've been praised by the likes of Theo Pafitis, Jacqueline Gold. We've been classed as the UK's top 100 startups. We've also been recognised by HSBC as a top 30 UK business. We're aiming to raise £100,000 for charity. Our social following is now at 125,000. Last year we were VOOM semi-finalists. This year we're fully prepared to go all the way. And personally, I'd love for one of my favourite brands to be part of our journey. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you. Good job.
May I just give you these?
Yeah, of course you can. Obviously, big market, and I'm sure there'll be some questions around, financials and commercials. I'd like to just start by asking you about the competitive nature of your market. So, who would you see as the traditional competitor in the space, and then who are you competing in your new space?
I think the honest answer for that is we're looking to take market share away from the obvious people such as Mothercare, Amazon, your primary source to shop for baby care products. Subsequent to that, you've got the likes of Babies R Us, Kiddie Care and Jojo Mama. To answer your question a bit further, there's actually no one doing what we're doing in this space. So we've implemented, we've innovated, and we've come up with something that actually we've got a community that really, really loves what we do. And another point on that, the value of each box is far more than they'll pay. So you can purchase a Sassy Bloom box for £29.95 a month on a monthly basis, and the value of your box is going to be between £40 and £80, and you get free delivery. So there's a real incentive for parents to sign up. It's a great way to save a lot of money, it's a great way to save time, and they're getting to discover fantastic products.
And how do you manage to do that?
Well, we knew at the start of this that we needed to get some good partnerships in place with the suppliers. We've actually been in the industry, the baby industry, for over 5 years, so we knew a lot about the products. We had those relationships already to a degree, and it was just about enhancing those relationships.
So 1.9 million, that's in year, what year are you in?
This is for 2016 to 2017.
Okay, so that's a forecast.
That's a forecast.
And then what was it last year?
So last year we were 649k revenue with an 81k loss, and we're actually up on revenue 213% growth.
What sort of margins do you work on?
We are 31% right now, and there are ways that we're working on to increase that by increasing the lifetime value, and we've got lots of plans for the business.
Is that gross margin or net margin?
That is net margin.
Okay, thanks.
So what's the plan now to evolve it? This space is becoming so saturated now. There's millions of these similar concepts. What? I know you're saying you have the personalized item that sets them apart, but what's the big
I hear what you're saying, but I wouldn't say it's saturated within this industry. Subscription boxes are hot right now, and there's an explosion that's come over from the States in a big way. And you can now find them from anything from coffee to pet food. But that's only growing, and that has grown hugely, and it's only set to grow some more. And the reason for that is it's an obvious way to shop. For the consumer, everybody now is so busy. Our number one asset is time. I always say to people, Uber don't sell cab rides, they sell you back your time. That is why it's so popular. And if we can help customers, if we can, parents, you're a parent yourself, so you can be quite tired, you can be quite stressed. Anything that we can do to make your life happier is a good thing.
Can you just talk to me a little bit, so you're selling them through kind of the pregnancy right through to kind of 3 years kind of post-birth. How many different kind of products are you actually stocking in order to make sure that the box is relevant throughout?
A lot.
Yeah, okay.
I'm quite happy to show you a box. I've got a sample box here if you're interested. To give you an idea, there are approximately 5 to 6 products in every single box. And the idea is that every single product in there is tailored for baby's age and stage of development and will grow with your child.
Okay.
You just pull the flap
Pull
over.
the flap, here we go.
And the thing about these boxes are, what we're looking to do is help parents to discover products that perhaps they haven't seen before. So we work also with small businesses and support them. We work with mumpreneurs and dadpreneurs who have had fantastic ideas for products, but that aren't out there. They've gone out there, they've invented that product, they've created something amazing, but they don't necessarily have the marketing budget or power to get it out there to parents. So we're kind of solving that problem and helping them with that too.
Okay. What's kind of the lifetime value of a customer, and I guess kind of what's the churn rate on the subscriptions?
At the moment, our lifetime value is 8 months. And again, we're looking to increase that by bringing in things such as upsell within the conversion funnel. And there are lots of other different ways that we're working on at the moment to extend that.
Going back to competition.
Yes.
I mean, what if one of the big boys decides to take you on?
To be honest with you, I have had this conversation with a couple of people within the industry, and if you look at the likes of Mothercare, for example, who own the biggest market share, I mean, they're more involved with closing stores, and they had a rights issue recently. I think all of their focus and all of their resource isn't in trying to do this. They've got other things that are taking priority for them right now.
One number answer. How big are you in revenue, say, 2020, 3 years from now?
12.5 million.
Good answer. He did know that. Thank you, sir. Good job. Darren, super job. Well done.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Is that it?
Yeah. We're on the clock. We're on time to mark you, sir. So well done. Good pitch. Thank you.
Thank you, Darren.
And I've got your box.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is James Knight, and I've been looking forward to having the opportunity to come here because I believe that I have the answer to solving one of the greatest world's problems today, and one of the most pressing problems. And if you'll note here, I handed out a little piece of paper here that was referring to Gallup polls survey dealing with the engagement, the problem of the engagement crisis that's taking place in the world, where only 13% of the employees in the world are actually finding meaning or purpose in their work, and that 87% are in some way either not engaged or totally disengaged, and that they're finding their work a misery. Now, my purpose in being here is to talk with you about an exciting universal language that is designed to help people connect with one another. Mutual liking, trust, understanding, and respect. The language is called IMA. And the way that IMA works is this, that even though every person is as unique as their thumbprint, each of us has a systematic framework or comfort zone where we feel the most comfortable most of the time. And although there are some 7 billion people on the planet, there are not 7 billion comfort zones, there are only 4. And if you know a person's comfort zone, which is their IMA style, you know how they think, how they make decisions, how they use time, how they manage their emotions, operate under stress, how to communicate with them in a way that gets the best results, what they want, need, and expect from you and others. Now, I'd like to ask this question. Has this ever happened to anybody here, where you met someone and after meeting them for just a couple of minutes, you felt so comfortable with that person it's like you'd known them for years, by a show of hands? Has that happened to you? How about on the other side, where you met someone and no matter how long you knew them, no matter how hard you tried, you just couldn't get along with that person? Has that ever happened to you? Wouldn't it be wonderful, at least in a general sense, if you could have that same level of chemistry with every person that you met? That's what IMA does, is it creates an environment where people feel valued. Now, I have included, and I've pointed out the problem in the world right now where companies are not engaging with their employees. I've got two examples that I put in front of you that where IMA has been used. One is with auto traders. Now, this is a letter, and you won't have time to read it all, but it's from David Beeney, who is the commercial director of Auto Traders, that said, as a result of using IMA, morale is at an all-time high, staff turnover an all-time low, absenteeism the lowest in the Guardian group of companies, and sales increased year on year at 12% for 4 consecutive years. In addition to that, I've included another company that's using IMA, and that's Bellevue Coach in Manchester. Now, the exciting thing with Bellevue Coach is from the time that they used IMA, prior to that, they were only doing $1 million in sales turnover per year. As a result of using IMA, their turnover increased by 400%. Now, the great news, and this was something that Phil Hitchin told me yesterday that means more to me than anything else, is even though there's a shortage of coach drivers here in the UK, that people are standing in line to come to work for Bellevue Coach because it's such a great place to work. Now, with IMA, the reason that this is important is because with this engagement crisis, it affects low productivity, lost sales, absenteeism, and staff turnover. And we have the answer to that. With IMA, it creates an environment where people feel valued. It bridges the gap between management and employees. And yes, I'm sorry? Okay, that's absolutely fine. Thank you very much.
Okay, James, thank you. I know ran over a little bit in time, so we're going to be a little bit tight on kind of questions. When I listen to you talk about kind of IMA, am I right to think of personality profiling, Myers-Briggs, Farrer-B? Is it some type of frame personality or behavioral psychological?
That's a very good point. Thank you very much. The difference between IMA and psychometric tests, in-depth psychometric tests, is they deal with a person's inner sense, how they see themselves. IMA is based on observable behavior and how other people see you. So it's based on behavior that's there for everyone to see.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, can I just go straight to facts and figures?
Yes.
How long have you been operating?
I've developed IMA over the last 30 years, researching, testing, applying, and teaching. Now,
and how has your revenue grown?
What has happened, the revenue stream for IMA is I teach IMA practitioners around the world to be able to teach people how to use IMA, working with companies. I have currently 70 IMA practitioners. They're located in 12 countries around the world. Each practitioner has paid £2,500 approximately in order to become an IMA practitioner. They use IMA's proven behavioral cloud-based software solution, which is an algorithm that I developed to help put the right people in the right job.
I'd love to have the time, but we're so
yes, I understand.
Could I just ask, what is the turnover for last year?
As far as the turnover goes, it was only for IMA about £50,000.
Okay, and what about this year you're expecting?
This year, again, about £50,000 at this point in time.
Okay. So where do you see the growth coming from?
The growth is coming from over 130,000 people have answered the IMA What Color Are You questionnaire, and that number is increasing by 1,000 a week. People are coming to me to become IMA practitioners.
So what would you do with the funding, the money that if you win this competition?
Well, I have everything in place. Keep this in mind that all of the things are in place. What this competition will do is increase awareness of IMA and increase the number of companies that will be and the practitioners that will be coming to us.
Are you the only teacher or professor?
I am the creator of IMA. I train the IMA practitioners in 4 sessions online, and as a result, I have the ability to train 100 a month, whatever number, because it takes as long to talk to one as it does 100.
Yeah, and you will charge each one £2,500.
£2,500. That's right.
Once they sign on.
Exactly. No
further revenues come from them. No sort of.
They pay a monthly revenue, a license fee to be able to use my IMA algorithm.
How much is that?
£49 a month.
Okay.
Just question, is your IMA language academically proven, backed, supported? I mean, you've created it, but I mean...
Yes, that's right. Now, when it comes to that, it's being used by companies all over the world to help to connect with their people and their employees.
Yeah.
My IMA practitioners include people like the head of global learning for Cisco, IBM. So it's all growing organically and word of mouth.
Fantastic.
Well done. Congratulations.
James, thank you very much. We were a little bit short on time, but you answered that fantastically well.
Yes.
Okay,
Good
thank
job.
you. And I will say that some of the Virgin Media staff have just answered the IMA questionnaire.
Yeah.
So,
we've got some employee engagement stuff to get stuck into, my friend.
okay, it'd be my pleasure to be able to help you do that.
Thank you very
You
much.
will love it, actually. And we can solve this together. The world needs to know about this.
Well, thank you very much for coming in today.
Okay, it's my pleasure.
Wonderful.
Cheers.
Thank you very much, James.
Thank you.
I like to sing it. I like to whoop it. I like to move it. We like to swoove it. Hi, I'm Esther. I'm 37. I'm a Guinness World Record holder and Bella from the Tweenies. Swoove means to sing, whoop and move and is a sing-along exercise class and fitness brand. You sing through the choruses, whoop through the verses, all whilst moving to the music. I officially launched Swoove in September 2015 with just one instructor and one style of fitness class. Today we have 23 instructors and 26 different concepts of Swoove, ranging from Swoove Mama for the pregnant lady, through to Swoove Aqua in water, Swoove Ignite in the dark with glow bracelets and disco lights, and Swoove Stretch, a conditioning class on the floor with mats. I believe Swoove solves a career problem for 3 different types of people. The parent with young children wanting to earn an income but not wanting to put their children into childcare. There are a variety of classes that they can instruct and take their children to. The performer, in between jobs, wanting to earn a flexible income and still wanting to use their core skills, singing and dancing. And lastly, the fitness instructor, wanting to just pay one franchise fee of £20 a month and be able to teach a variety of 26 different classes. Swoove's manifesto includes wanting to raise £1 million for very small local charities. Each Swoove instructor has to take at least one charity event a year, and since its launch, we have raised £14,000 for 11 different local charities. I also want Swoove headquarters to be run by physically disabled adults and adults with additional needs, offering them a very safe working environment with the support and facilities they need. Swoove has already started making people's lives sunnier. We have 17,000 likes on our Facebook page, and the website has had 22,000 views. We have around 800 swoovers swooving every week, including 80 4 to 14-year-olds. Our eldest is 81, and she calls it her hour of fun. We have 20 new swoovers every week, just through personal recommendations. And one lady tried 13 different classes before she found Swoove. She is now a Swoove junkie. I think my main competitor in the market is Les Mills. There are a wide variety of classes, including 5 for children. But Swoove is better. Swoove does more. Swoove Stars is for disabled young adults, and Swoove Home is for dementia patients in care homes and hospitals. A local care agency is very excited about Swoove and the therapy that the music and singing will bring to their patients. Oh, I forgot to, let's go. I want 50 instructors by the end of September, which will take my first year revenue, to £35,000. By 2018, I want 500 instructors, And by 2020, I want 1,000 instructors, making that year's revenue 220,000 with a gross profit of £194,000. Now I know, with your help, Voom's help, Virgin's help, we can make the world a sunnier place. I have the heart and commitment of Swoove, and I know we can make the world sunny. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for bringing your sunshine into us.
Well, you're how many hours into your...
Well, it says it there. 9 hours in, so thank you for bringing your sunshine in. And love the outfit.
Thank you.
So, sing-along exercise.
Absolutely.
Why would your sing-along exercise? I get the thing about 26 courses and it's targeted in lots of different ways, but why your sing-along exercise versus somebody else's sing-along exercise?
There isn't a sing-along exercise. I'm the only one on the market.
Right.
I got to page 10 of Google and I was holding my breath and my husband was there and my baby was crying. I was like, one more minute. No one's thought of it. So that's all right. It was sing-a-size for 8 weeks and I'm very ambitious. Hence the Guinness World Record. I have to challenge myself. And sing-a-size for 8 weeks, and then I wanted to create a brand, a word, and Sing Whoop Move was, I played around with my boy who was 7 months at the time and making gurgly sounds, and Swoove came from that, and so I wanted to create a brand. You burn calories singing, it's not out there in the market. So for the chaps, you vocalise, Swoove box, so less singing, more vocalising, so we don't alienate the men if they don't want to sing so much. So there's nothing else there on the market, so Swoove is...
Thank you.
The first.
How do you charge? What's the charge?
I'm very passionate about my fitness classes not being extortionate, so they're capped at £5 a class for adults, and for the youngsters it can be anything from £2 to £4. I don't think exercise classes should be expensive. I'm very passionate about that. I think everybody should be able to Swoove.
There's no problem, like if singing is part of... There's no problem with royalty of the music or anything?
No, you can sing. It's like you sing along home on the radio. You can sing to your heart's content. It's not copywriting. You pay the fitness instructors pay their PRS, they pay their PPL, so they have the license to play the music, and you can sing along to it. There's no...
Esther, did you say you were Bella?
Yes, I was, yes.
Get out. Wow, okay. Wow, it's the most impressive fact of the day. Okay. So on your business model going forward, when you're looking at your revenue, that's coming from the instructors paying their registration and then paying their sort of licensing fee. That's not sort of just based on people paying to go in a class, because
no, absolutely. I've erred on the side of caution because I don't want to be dramatic with numbers, but that's £99 training fee for every course they do, and £20 a month franchise fee. So that's based on the amount of instructors I have.
Fantastic.
Can you just talk to me a little bit about kind of the growth in instructors? So you said you got 23 currently. How long is it taking you to kind of get to that run rate? How quickly do you think you can grow it over the next kind of year, 2 years?
I want 50 by the end of September. I've got 2 training days booked in, so that will take me up to 50. And I think 500 is achievable. I want to train a master trainer. I've got a boy. I want more children. And I want to be a hands-on mum. I don't want to pass my boy off onto other people. So I want to train a master trainer that can also train instructors as well as myself, that's as passionate. And I've got instructors that can do that. And then we can have, on the same day, he can be training other people in another place whilst I'm training a set of 25 instructors, in another place. So, yeah, those figures are very achievable to have 1,000 by 2020.
26 courses, that's a lot to sort of keep in tune with. I mean, could I just use this at home?
Absolutely, yeah. That's just Swoove, so that's the original Swoove Fitness.
And do you sell those?
Yes,
How much does that cost?
Absolutely. Well, I sell them for charity, so they can be at any cost. $14.99 they started out at, then they went down to $9.99. Everything going to a very local charity.
I applaud you for that, for giving the money to charity.
Yeah. I think it's hugely... When we've got the hook... My personal total is 100,000 that I've raised since 2010.
No.
So I just think if you can inspire people, you can raise money as well as earning a good living.
Good for you. I totally agree. So you mentioned your competition?
Yes.
There's Mills.
Very ambitious. They've got 20 classes. Huge in the industry.
Right.
But
they don't threaten you, really?
No, not at all. No. I think businesses help businesses, and fitness is huge at the moment to stop obesity, and especially with children, to get them to do exercise. And they don't think, I go into some kids' classes and I could cry, singing and dancing. They don't realise they're swooving, they're exercising, because they're just having a lovely time to Frozen and Disney songs. It's wonderful. And for them to grow up with that.
And you're doing it for all age ranges.
Absolutely, yeah. Swoove Sling is a lovely class. Mums with their babes in slings, and it's gentle, and we dance, and and it's a lovely bonding experience. So Swoove Sling is a beautiful class, and dads do it as well. It's never endless, Swoove.
Yeah, well,
you should come back at 4 o'clock in the morning. We might.
Esther, can I say thank you?
Yes.
You have been a breath of fresh air coming in.
Sorry to shock you when I came in.
No, it was just a bit of a surprise. I was coming down and.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
So
Good luck. Rest of Guinness World Record. You're going to do it.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Good luck.
Bye.
Drink coffee.
Good evening. My name is Olanike Adebayo. I'm an educationist, and my project and my pitch today is for e-learning in Africa. Basically, our projects and our programs are designed as online platforms for people who are professionals in different developing countries, mainly in Africa. And the idea is for people to come home, as I'm going to do, let their hair down, take their shoes off, and be able to learn and gain qualifications right in the comfort of their rooms, their homes, or even their offices. Why e-learning for Africa, and how did I come about it? I went on a program in Health, Education, and International Development at the university, and I realized that for a lot of developing countries, AIDS and all these other monies are being sent on a regular basis, and nothing is really shifting, nothing is really changing, because the people are not really changing, their mindsets are not changing, they're not being equipped with skills and knowledge to be able to change their little environment and their locales. So I thought about the fact that if we can actually get the trainings out of them without them leaving their comfort zone, leaving their homes, traveling abroad, applying for visas, that is going to be the easiest way to develop these countries and actually bring about a ripple effect in the lives of people. Why education and health at first? Because these are the two critical areas, I believe, coming from an health science background myself and going into education, that can actually change the lifestyles and the lives of the people. If people are educated, they understand the schooling system, they're doing things right in that place, especially the teachers and educationists, they can change the lives of multiple thousands or millions of children at the same time. And then the healthcare industry, if healthcare professionals are skilled enough, they don't need to be traveling abroad, they don't need to spend so much money, and then it's environmentally clean as well. So we came up with all these courses in child protection in education, for example, effective communication and learning, training for teachers such as health and safety on the playground, dealing with bullying and harassment, effective classroom management, and a lot of other courses such as first aid as well, in learning, equality and diversity, in such a way that people are actually being built. And as they're being built, they're going into their own communities and making a massive difference. Now, I found a company in the UK called Educare, who has been in the business for over 30 years, developing these courses. Approached them and said, look, I do really believe that Africa needs these courses. Teachers in Africa, healthcare professionals in Africa need these courses. And Educare took us on board. And then we took the courses into, I come in from Nigeria originally, I took the courses into Nigeria and I found them absolutely fantastic. Prior to that, Educare had trained tens of thousands of people in the UK, hundreds of thousands actually, but then in Africa they were doing some massive work as well, mainly with COBI schools, which are the Council for British International Schools. And I thought to myself again, if we're going to just deal with the cream de la cream of society in Africa, we will not eventually change the continent. But if we can go to the nitty-gritty, to the grassroots, to teachers in small towns, in small villages, in the cities, in private schools, in public schools, then we're up to something and we can actually change not just the lives of people, but the continent as a whole. So we went back to the courses, to the government officials, to private school owners, and they embraced the courses. And within 2 years, we got over 300 more. And prior to that, we had over 1,500 people that took the courses. And Educare as a whole, being in other countries like Kenya, Malawi, Uganda, and Ghana, are trained up to 20,000 people. Now, my pitch is just to get more funding to be able to go not just to the COBI schools, which are the British international schools, to the cream de la cream of society, to the rich people, but I want every teacher in the country to understand how to take care of children, quality of care. And for a country like Nigeria, 2 years ago, a global phenomenon happened where there was a campaign for Bring Back Our Girls, Chibok girls. A group of 220 girls were actually carted away from their school school because some people attacked them. Boko Haram was attacking schools and taking children away. Teachers didn't understand what to do. They were all at a loss.
We're going to time out, I think. Yeah, well over time. I'm going to have to stop. Because if you don't get any questions, you see. We need to ask the questions too. So, first of all, thank you.
Welcome.
Love the passion.
Thank you.
Really love the passion. Thank you so much. Just so I can understand, I mean, obviously, Educare's got a whole list of courses that are developed, which is great. They're already in Africa. When you say e-learning, so is this online education?
Online.
So they're using packaged content online.
Absolutely.
Okay, so therefore in Africa, still therefore dependent on making sure that you've got online technology to deliver
Absolutely,
that. Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so that's
that is available at the moment in all these countries, and in a lot of the major cities we have internet connection. We have a lot of people with mobile phones and tablets and computers, so that isn't a problem at all.
Good stuff. Thank you. That was my first question.
I was listening to this, thinking this sounds incredibly worthwhile, and but it sounds like a charity rather than a business.
Educare started as a charity, but I took it on as a business because I believe that people are paying for their children's education, and then the private school owners, whom I have contacted as well and who have thousands of teachers to give to us to train, they are actually willing to pay because at the end of the day, we have to go into all those places to set these things up, train them, explain the whole process to them, and we need to make profit as well. So it's a social enterprise, but definitely a business as well.
So you feel it is self-funding?
Yes, absolutely, it is.
So they play on a subscription basis, will they?
That's the idea. You subscribe, you get the login details, and we provide the login details, and then you can take the courses. And there are tests to take at the end of it as well, multiple choice questions, whereby if you don't pass, you go back to the questions again until you learn what you need to learn. And a certificate is actually issued with a professional body in the UK. Makes it unique.
Have you had any support from the government or local government?
Not at the moment, but that's something I'm open to and willing to get very much as well.
You mentioned that you took this to Nigeria already.
Yes.
Can you talk to me a little bit about how that went, how many people you provided the online learning to, and kind of what the revenue was off the back of that?
We do based on, if you bring 20 people, for example, compared to someone that brings 50 people, it depends on the number. That determines the price. So we charge between £50 to £100 a person. So we've had at least 280 people in the last year that have been trained. And so we made around £15,000 based on the number of people that came and the number of courses, because there are not so many courses. There's so many courses, like 14, 15, but not everybody desires to have the 14 or 15, so we give them the subscription to what they want individually in that way.
How long has your business been going?
Oh, just over 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Is anybody else doing this?
In Africa, no. In the UK, yes, there's Learn Direct that does something similar, but in African countries, no. It's just this. This is the only avenue, and it's brilliant.
So if you were to win a prize, what would you spend it on to help you grow?
What would I spend it on? One, I'm going to train other people out there who will work with me. I have 2 people at the moment who do the marketing and sales, and I would love to improve on training them to be able to train the teachers. 2, we want to set up computer. At the moment, we're working with computer centers where teachers will go in en masse to go and train for 2 hours a day, 3 hours. I would love to set something like that up in some of the major cities where there are 20 clusters of computers, and then the internet connection from the big internet suppliers who would cooperate with us, and then get people into that. So that's one. And then transport facilities, because some of these cities are far apart. I use a little bit of my own money and things to fund things, but if I can get maybe 2 minibuses to get our people who will be going out into the cities from one place to another, that would be fantastic. So these are some of the things. And finally, we want to develop some new courses because there are demands. We're getting feedback and saying, we would love this course, we would love this, do you think we can do this? And to develop one course from scratch, it costs between £3,000 to £5,000. So developing a few new courses would be great as well.
Great answer. Great answer. Thank you for that.
Welcome.
Thank you for coming in. Don't lose that passion. That is amazing. Seriously. Well done.
Yeah.
Kicked off your shoes as you kicked off.
Just let your hair down and you can learn.
Well done, you.
So good evening, I'm Russell Quirk, I'm the founder and CEO of emove.co.uk. We are estate agents, but in a good way. The robot here, I should explain, this is how we think estate agency might look in about 10 years' time. Parachuting robots from drones into people's front gardens whereby they can go and take on the property. We're not there yet though, so this is a bit of a prop just to sort of get you thinking about what could be. However, having said that, we do think that estate agency right now is broken. It's a broken industry. It suffers in the UK generally from a public perception point of view with very, very high fees, low service and an absolute lack of transparency. 6 years ago, I founded eMove, having been in estate agency previously for about 11 or 12 years, with a view to completely turning that on its head. So our proposition is fixed fees at a very, very high value, low cost. So typically we charge £679, as opposed to a regular high street estate agent charging something between £4,000 and £5,000 on average. Our customer service approach is nothing short of stellar. We are obsessed by customer service and really sort of nail that hard, to the point that we now have a 99% customer recommendation rate across about 1,200 reviews across Trustpilot, All Agents, FIFO, Review Centre and so on. The other aspect that we're really pioneering is technology. So we've now built a bespoke proprietary platform which allows our sellers and our buyers to log in 24/7, change their advert, upload their own photos if they want to. They can see upcoming viewings, they can see the activity that they're getting on Rightmove and Zoopla and our website in terms of click-throughs and general traction. And it also allows them to book viewings in advance, so they can give us, for instance, their availability rather than us having to bother them with old-fashioned phone calls. So it's very much something that is angled towards transparency, customer empowerment, and something that frankly our customers love and we think has contributed towards our customer satisfaction rate. So we're 6 years old. We now have 12,500 customers under our belts. We have sold £1 billion worth of properties across the UK, so we're truly national, but we operate from one place. And as a consequence, obviously, we have an economy of scale, which means that we can justify a fee that's far, far lower than the high street. Our fee saving to date, so if you compare our fees based on the properties we've sold versus a regular high street estate agent, the UK home seller has saved to date with us £25 million in estate agency fees. So we're pretty proud of that. We have a fantastic team of property experts and customer service obsessives, technologists that are world class, and we truly, truly believe that whereas our sector has about 5% of the estate agency market right now, it will actually overtake traditional estate agency over the next 5 to 10 years because, frankly, the customer's behind us. And I truly believe that if the customer's with you, you'll win. Questions, if you will.
Good stuff, Russell.
On time.
Good job, and thank God you're here, because I think we universally need new estate agents. So I think we buy the concept of what the problem is. Let's just kind of test. I get your fee structure. Let's just test your service essence.
Yeah.
Because there are some very good boutique estate agents who do a good job and they charge a lot. So you've got the price advantage.
Yeah.
But what would you say were the key elements of when somebody's had your service, they go, that was so amazing? What is it?
So I think mostly what we get, if you look at the reviews that we have on Trustpilot and so on, is people expect much less than they get. So they believe that an online hybrid proposition such as ours means that there's some compromise because of the lower fee. At the end of the process, when they then post the review, generally what the consensus is that it was far, far better than they thought, and actually far, far better than what they've had in the past with high street agents. So things like communication, things like the fact that we're open 7 days a week, we're open till 8 p.m. at night. The platform gives that true sort of accessibility and empowerment that I mentioned. So all of those things contribute to what can only be described as exemplary customer service. It's as good as Apple, dare I say, as good as Virgin. It's as good as Zappos in the States. We're really, really proud of it. Having said that, it isn't all about technology. So we have a fantastic team of 70 people that are nurturing on particular deals. So they'll get involved with offer negotiation, sales progression, and so on. So it's technology and people, and that's a very important blend.
Get it? Thank you.
So if we look back 6 years old,
yeah,
and let's just take a look at the revenue and the growth and your margins. So.
Yeah.
How's that looking, say, in the last 3 years?
Yeah, so first couple of years were very, very slow. Our revenues were very, very minimal, but we've roughly doubled revenues every year over the last 3 years. So revenues last year were just over 1.5 million. This year, our run rate, we're on target for 4.5 million in revenues. So we're starting to see the inflection points. We're starting to see that hockey stick.
Well done.
Next year, our forecast is 16 million and 49 million in 2018. We are already this year 134% bigger than we were in Q1 2015.
What about the margins?
Margins are tight, I mean, in fairness, because obviously we're charging a small amount. We acquire customers quite cleverly, so our cost of acquisition is much lower, much lower than the high street. And
but say, what was your net profit last year?
No, we're in growth mode, so we lose money, we burn cash. We're out raising money now.
So how much did you burn last year?
So we lost £2.5 million last year. Sounds scary, but we're in growth mode.
Yep,
it's a land grab. We're spending money on technology, money on marketing.
And then this year with a 4.5 million
So
turnover.
we'll lose about the same, so our burn will be about the same this year, but we get to profit of about £12 million in 2018. So once the technology has gone through its process in terms of all the iterations we think it needs to become perfect, and once our marketing has got us to a maturity in terms of the average person knowing of our existence, because that's our big problem right now. People don't know that there's an alternative to the high street agent.
Can I just ask you, Russell, I guess there's a lot of people doing kind of tech-enabled estate agency. I think I saw on the way here Sarah Beanie's advertising, the Easy Group have got something.
Yeah.
Where do you sit in relation to those in terms of kind of market share?
So there are 5 or 6 players in the space. We're the second biggest by inventory. We are differentiated in a number of ways. So first of all, customer service, which, as I've said, is our obsession. Some of our competitors don't seem to share that obsession. I'll just leave it as that. The proprietary technology that we've built is absolutely unique, and literally it's from the ground up. So it's not been bought in. It's not not somebody else's kit, and that is truly differentiating, we think, because it does provide that balance between people and technology. We have differentiation in our space. The big differentiation, of course, is versus, without using any names, the larger high street chains that, frankly, are, in my humble view, a bit more backward-looking and certainly are charging a fee based on a percentage that we just don't think is equitable these days. We don't think the consumer should pay £4,000 or £5,000 to sell their home based on an asset value and a percentage of that asset value, rather than a justification of a fixed fee, which allows us to justify a fee based on the work done rather than just the value of the property. We just don't think that's right.
And you plugged into Rightmove, and if you want to sell my home, I want to make sure I'm getting maximum exposure.
Yeah. So we're on Rightmove, we're on Zoopla. We have great relationships with them, so we're not trying to compete with them. We're not trying to be a portal. We're an estate agent. We're consumer facing. Rightmove and Zoopla are they're B2B advertising sites, so we're not trying to be them.
Can't see the clock, but is there, in terms of completing that,
23.
The linkage into the legal world and back out of you?
Exactly, yes. So we recommend conveyancers now. We have some ideas around how we can integrate and package conveyancing with estate agency, so a very good point. Same with mortgages, same with home insurance. We've already done deals with removal businesses, utility switchers and so on. So a big part of our revenue now going forward is those ancillary revenue streams.
So what about your cash burn? What is that, mainly on the technology or
mainly
marketing?
Yeah. Technologists are very expensive, I'm afraid. So yes.
Russell, that's time.
Russell, thank you. Thank you for being in the market. Thank you for saving the market 25 million of fees.
Indeed.
I'm so pleased that's not in the other estate agents' pockets, so well done.
Me too. They're not so happy, I can say.
Good job.
That's right. Many thanks.
Well done.
Thank you, Russell. Robert, after you.